Hey friends, Elizabeth here from Plant-Based Bride. Welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm setting up my husband's bullet journal for June 2020. We took a little bit of time off, or I should say he took a bit of time off from his bullet journal with COVID and all that comes with that. He didn't need it as much, but things have started to pick up for him and he said he missed it. So here I am setting up his bullet journal for June. Before we jump into the setup, there are two things I want to mention. The first thing is that this video is sponsored by Nordgreen. They are an amazing Copenhagen-based Danish watch brand. Their Scandinavian minimalist watches are designed by Jacob Wagner, one of the most renowned Scandinavian designers and the former lead designer of B&O and Hey. And they have a huge focus on social responsibility with their Giving Back program. So I'll talk about them more throughout the video, but I just wanted to mention that this video is sponsored by them and I am wearing one of their watches throughout this entire video. My watch is the Native watch with the 32mm white dial and a brown vegan leather strap. So thank you to Nordgreen for sponsoring this video. And the other thing I wanted to address right off the top is something that comes up in the comments every single time I make a Plan With Me video for my husband's bullet journal. And the sentiment of these comments, which range from common curiosity to incredibly rude, is why am I setting up my husband's bullet journal when he can do it himself? And I assume most of these comments are coming from people who have not necessarily been in long-term serious relationships, have never been married, but the way I like to explain it is this. My husband is my partner in life. I love him more than life itself. And I do many things for him that he could feasibly do himself out of love and wanting to care for him and wanting to contribute to our life together. And he does the same for me. An example I really like is a cooking example. So I'm an adult, I know how to cook, but while cooking's kind of necessary for survival, I've never particularly enjoyed it. I don't think I'm particularly great at it, but I'll do it if I have to. Turns out my husband is great at cooking. He's an amazing cook and he really enjoys it. So guess what? Even though I can cook for myself, my husband ends up cooking a lot more than I do because he loves me and he likes doing things for me and contributing to our life together. See how that's basically the same thing? I'm more artistic than my husband. I obviously have way more experience setting up bullet journals than my husband does, and I really enjoy doing it. He loves using his bullet journal, but setting it up is not really his thing, so I do it for him. And then he cooks me a delicious dinner to say thank you, and the circle of married life continues. If you don't like the idea of me setting up his bullet journal, that's fine. You are free to your own opinion, but you don't have to share it with me. Just don't watch these videos. So now that that's been said, let's get into the actual setup. I actually surprised him with the theme this month. I wanted to do something minimalist, geometric, and space inspired. So both the lettering and the artistic elements in these spreads are inspired by line art drawings of orbits, and I really like how this turned out. I love that you can get that space feel across with a very simple drawing. So starting with the cover page, I actually started my drawing on the page itself and did something that I ended up really disliking and thought, you know what? This is a great opportunity. I'm gonna make the cover page inverted, so white on black. So I have some black craft paper that's around the same size as these A5 notebook pages. So I grabbed one of those and my white gel pen and started to create my design. As always, all of the supplies I'm using will be linked down below, so check that out if you're looking for something in particular. For all of the drawings, I had a general idea ahead of time, but I mostly just was winging it and having fun adding little elements here and there as I went along. I also added a mini calendar here and ended up disliking the proportions of it. So you'll see later I actually cover it up with a black paint pen because I think it just didn't quite look right in the placement and how elongated it was. I was initially going to do a very different type of font for the headers on this setup, but as I was making this, it just popped into my head to create this font that I'm doing now, and I'm so glad that I just decided to go for it because I love how this lettering turned out. Just very elongated letters, very simple, and of course including those little dots to fit it in with the theme. While I'm working on that, I want to talk a little bit more about my watch from Nordgreen. I actually have a couple watches from them already, but I got really excited when they announced that they would be making vegan leather watch straps. And I wasn't exactly sure what to expect, but the quality of this vegan leather is incredible. It's so soft, it has a beautiful, subtle grain pattern to it, and the inside area that touches your skin is like a suede sort of texture, incredibly soft, just absolutely beautiful. I also find the tone, the shade of this brown strap to be perfect, and I am very picky with my browns. As I mentioned earlier, one of my favorite things about Nordgreen is their commitment to giving back. Their Giving Back program supports 3 great causes. And when you purchase a watch from Nordgreen, you get to decide which charity you want to support. In the realm of health, they partnered with Water for Good to provide 2 months of clean water to one person in the Central African Republic. In the realm of education, they partnered with Pratham UK so that when you buy a watch, you will give 1 month of education to a child in India. And in the realm of the environment, they partnered with Cool Earth to preserve 50 square meters of rainforest in Latin America when you purchase a watch. I would love to have you help me decide which of these 3 charities I should support with my watch, so please let me know in the comments whether you want me to choose clean water, education, or protecting the rainforest, and whichever one is mentioned the most, I will choose to support. In addition to their Giving Back program, they have many more sustainable initiatives. They use responsible manufacturing by partnering with Danish partners abroad to ensure that their overseas production facilities adhere to the highest standards while following Danish labor practices. They also use sustainable packaging, which is FSC certified. The cardboard paper in their packaging comes from responsibly managed forests, and the felt inside the box is formed using upcycled plastic bottles. And lastly, they are carbon neutral. They have planted thousands of trees to offset the carbon emissions generated by their office in Copenhagen. They also make sure to offset all of their global shipments, including your future order. They gave me a discount code to pass along to you, so if you use code PLANTBASED at checkout, you can get 20% off your beautiful Scandinavian designed watch. I absolutely adore my Nordgreen watches. They are beautiful quality and are really made to last. Once I finished my cover page, I glued it in and trimmed the edges to make it fit the page. Now moving on to the calendar spread. So I decided to do a 1-page calendar spread because, again, my husband's schedule has been significantly reduced due to COVID, so he didn't feel he would need a full 2-page monthly spread this month. I decided to make it kind of in a similar vein to how I did my monthly calendar for May because I really liked that minimalist calendar setup with just the horizontal lines. As for the drawing, I'm doing something sort of similar to the cover page, but I'm making the circles overlap a little bit more in a bit of a more irregular fashion and extending these lines all the way up through the page to pull everything together. I'm also doing the same style font for the lettering, including for the days of the week at the top of the calendar, though I only did Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I felt like that was enough to indicate the days of the week without having to do every single one, and I didn't want it to feel too busy and crowded up at the top there, so that's why I decided to just do every other day of the week. All right, so now we're moving on to the final spread of this setup, which is the notes page. As I've mentioned in the past, this is just the first page of notes. He uses many pages throughout the month to jot things down as he's working, and I just like to make a cute little cover page for him to indicate the start of the notes section. So for this one, I created another geometric design. The one thing I wish is that I was better at freehanding ovals, because it's hard. I think I need to get an oval template like my circle template because my natural skills at oval makings are just not up to par. But other than that, I really like how this turned out, and I just made an N for notes instead of creating the entire word, just because I wanted to leave more open space on this first page for him to actually use the spread. And here is the final flip through. As I said at the beginning, a very minimalist, simple design. I really love how this turned out. I really like showing my husband's bullet journal setup videos on this channel in addition to my own, because I like to show how varied a bullet journal can be, depending on who you are, what you use it for, what your priorities are, what your aesthetic is. There are endless possibilities when it comes to bullet journaling, and I really like trying to show that in my own way on my channel. So let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this setup. Are you happy that my husband's bullet journal setups are back? Did you not even notice they were gone? Let me know. I want to take a moment to thank my patrons for their support. Extra special thanks to our newest patrons, Kimberly, Alina, Charles, Melanie, Joanna, Annette, Kimberly, Charlotte, Junie Sun, and Paper Fairy Tales. Welcome all of you to the squad. We are so excited to have you. If you at home want to join the squad, feel free. There's a link in the card and in the description box down below. Thank you so much to Nordgreen for sponsoring this video, and don't forget to let me know in the comments which of the 3 giving back programs I should support. And with that, this video is over. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next one. Bye, friends. If you're looking for something else to watch, I recommend you check out this video or this video.